Right, so there we go. We've got a natural finish leather sheath that has been oiled with neat's foot oil and a bit of beeswax. So it will be water resistant. It shouldn't soak things up and stain particularly badly. You know, these natural finishes are a little bit more fragile, or look a bit more fragile than dyed finishes, just because they show them up a bit more. But once it's worn and once it wears in, it'll develop a really nice shiny patina. There's nothing quite like a bit of natural leather that's just been rubbed and rubbed and rubbed and dangled on your belt and all that kind of stuff until it's got a really shiny, deep, rich colour to it. Anyway, so we've got black stitching. Like I said on the phone just now, I ended up splitting down the side of it. There's a nice big bit of leather in between there that actually protects the stitching from the knife blade when you put it in and out, as you would expect. Belt loop, so we've got a solid brass D-ring which is permanently sewn to the back of the sheath, and we've got, everything's covered in waxy fingerprints, and we've got a one of my standard drop danglers into there, which can be removed from your belt, can be removed completely from the knife if necessary by that and that. Never lost one of these. Lots of people use them. It's as secure a belt fastening as you could expect or could ever need. If you are a bit paranoid, you could put a stud in there or a couple of stitches in there to prevent that from opening. But even if that does open, in the unlikely event that it does, you'll not get it out of there because the strap itself has a waist that narrows down to fit through the loop, as you can see probably there. So it won't come out very readily. And once it's locked in with two great big Italian quality studs, it ain't going nowhere. So that's the sheath. Knife itself, oh, we have got a U-handle, two pieces of U, brass liners, again everything's covered in bloody fingerprints, brass and black. Things like that there, that might be the sort of the hole, inverted commas, that you identified. That's as smooth as a baby's bum across there, and that's just part of the grain of the piece of U that was used. Nice grain patterning. Again, everything's covered in fingerprints. We've got 4mm thick 01 tool steel. There's a relatively good polish on the spine at the back there, but these corners have been kept sharp deliberately, so you can use a fire steel on the back of the knife on the spine. The bevels, nice flat Scandi grind bevels, 28 degrees, which is sort of the standard Scandi grind size. Reasonably sharp out the box. It's probably as sharp as you're ever going to want it. The old paper test, looking quite sharp. Obviously, if part of the fun, if you like, of bushcraft knives is that you can spend a lot of time getting that super shiny, super sharp, shaving sharp, which probably is already, to be honest. But that's part of the cult of these things, is maintaining your really sharp blade. The blade itself, that dark sort of forced patina that's on the face of the blade, that will just darken off and become more even with use. I have sliced a few bits of wood and stuff with this as a test, and we haven't got any big marks in that surface finish, so it is quite a durable finish. Maker's mark. The maker's mark actually matches the maker's mark and number on the sheath itself. So hopefully, oh, that will do you. Well, we've got a lanyard hole as well, 6mm lanyard hole with a brass lanyard tube through the middle. And again, everything's covered in fingerprints. Occupational hazard when you've been waxing things, I suppose. And there you go. And that's not going to move anywhere as well. That's a nice tight friction fit in there.